He was American royalty. She was the definition of effortless elegance. Together, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy became one of the most captivating couples of the 1990s. A modern American love story that felt almost too iconic to last. John F. Kennedy Jr., born November 25, 1960, was the son of President John F. Kennedy. The world first saw him as a child saluting his father's casket in an unforgettable funeral image. From that moment on, he grew up under the gaze of a nation. He built his own path, graduating from Brown University, earning his law degree from NYU, and serving as a Manhattan Assistant District Attorney. Later, he founded George Magazine, blending politics and pop culture in a bold new way. Carolyn Bessette's rise was quieter, but just as powerful. She worked as a publicist for Calvin Klein and eventually became a director of show productions, but it was her minimalist fashion that made her a style icon. Crisp white button-down shirts, a signature black palette, clean tailoring, and timeless elegance. Her Narciso Rodriguez wedding dress would later become one of the most talked about bridal looks in fashion history. They met in 1992 at Calvin Klein. By 1996, they married in a secret ceremony on Cumberland Island, Georgia, away from cameras, away from chaos. But the spotlight followed them anyway. Intense paparazzi scrutiny and constant media pressure surrounded their marriage. Rumors of marital stress circulated as the couple struggled to maintain privacy in a world obsessed with them. Then came the night of July 1999. John piloted a Piper Saratoga aircraft, departing from Essex County Airport en route to Martha's Vineyard. The night was hazy. Conditions were difficult. Investigators would later cite spatial disorientation and pilot error. The plane never made it. All three on board, John, Carolyn, and her sister Lauren, were lost in the crash. The nation mourned. The NTSB investigation confirmed the tragic findings. Their remains were buried at sea. For many Americans, it felt like history repeating itself. Another Kennedy tragedy. Talk of the so-called Kennedy curse resurfaced. But beyond the headlines and theories, what remains is their story. A love story marked by glamour, privacy battles, ambition, and heartbreak. Their legacy continues in biographies, documentaries, and cultural retellings, including the upcoming TV series Love Story set for 2026. At Harvard, the JFK Jr. Forum carries forward his name, honoring civic dialogue and leadership. John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette weren't just celebrities. They were symbols of American promise, and of how fragile even the brightest stories can be. And decades later, their love story still lingers in the national memory.